I'm Noah, and this is Like You, a mindfulness podcast for kids. I'm glad you're here. Today, we're going to play a drawing game that helps us see things in a new way. Grab some paper and a marker, pencil, or crayon to draw with if you'd like to play along. First, a word for the grown-ups. Like You is listener-supported, so if you'd like to help us continue making new episodes, join us at patreon.com/likeyoupodcast for early access to every episode and other special perks. We also appreciate it when you help others find our show by telling your friends or writing a review on Apple Podcasts. All right, listeners of all ages, find a place to listen where you feel comfortable and safe. You're not only a listener, you're a thinker, a speaker, and an important part of this podcast. I hope you'll answer questions aloud and participate in our activities. Of course, if you'd rather just think your answers quietly in your head, that's okay too. Let's start with a breathing exercise. This time, I won't tell you how to breathe. Instead, I just want you to take a moment to notice how you're already breathing. Take a few breaths while you pay attention to your breathing. Don't change how you're breathing, just pay attention to your breath as you answer these questions. Are you breathing fast or slow? Are you breathing through your nose or your mouth? Are your breaths big and deep or soft and shallow? Do you notice any part of your body moving as you breathe? Perhaps your stomach is getting bigger and smaller, or your chest is moving in and out, or your shoulders are going up and down. Does your breath make any noise? Can you hear a whoosh of air in and out of your mouth? Or does your nose make a whistling sound? Take a few more breaths and just pay attention to your own breathing. Now, all together, let's take one long, deep breath in and hold it. Now, sigh your breath out. And on the count of 3, we'll all say, I like me. 1, 2, 3. I like me. I like you too. You have a unique way of seeing the world. You have creative thoughts no one else has, and you bring a special light to everyone around you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being you. Now let's play a drawing game. If you didn't already get paper and something to draw with, hit pause and do that now. What did you decide to draw with? Pencil, crayon, marker? You can pick your favorite color or your favorite drawing utensil. This is one of my favorite games to play with my family. You can play with a partner if you have one, but you can also play by yourself. I will say it's best for kids who have lots of practice drawing, so it may not be for some of our very youngest listeners. If you're a grown-up listening with a little one who doesn't do much drawing yet, maybe you could do the drawing for them and talk about the game together. I call it the Squiggle drawing game. Okay, let's get started. Place a fresh sheet of paper in front of yourself, and without thinking about what you're going to draw, just make a quick squiggly line in the middle of the paper. Don't spend too much time, just move your pencil around for a second or two and see what kind of squiggly line comes out. It doesn't even have to look like anything at this point. Now, if you're playing with a partner, you can trade pieces of paper. If you're playing alone, Just take a step back and take a look at what you drew. As you look at the paper in front of you, let your imagination kick in. Study the squiggle. See if it starts to look like anything else. It's not just a squiggle. What else could it be? Is anything coming to mind? If you've thought of something, go ahead and complete the drawing in front of you, adding any detail you need to make it look like something new. When you finish the drawing, make another squiggle and then play again. If you're having trouble seeing what else your squiggle could become, keep looking. Try turning the paper sideways. Does that help you see it differently? Could it be a flower, a cloud, a pirate ship? Turn the paper again and let your imagination run wild. Is it a kitten riding a unicycle? Or a pickup truck full of melty ice cream cones? Each time you think of what to turn your squiggle into, add any lines or shapes you need to finish the drawing. I could play this game for hours, turning nothing into something by looking at a squiggle and imagining what else it could be. Do you ever look around at objects and think about what else they could be? Like, what if that chair was a bicycle? What if that clock was a wagon wheel? What if that leaf was a blanket for a mouse? It's fun to look at things with a fresh perspective and think about what else it could be. I like to practice looking at things with a fresh perspective, so when I learn something new or see something that doesn't make sense to me, I can stop, observe, and think about it. If you enjoy this drawing game, why don't you try playing one more time while I sing a song? Or if you'd rather, you can just get up and dance along to the music. It's your choice.
Pick it up and put it down. Flip it over and turn it around. Look at things from a different side. You never know what may be hidden inside until you take a closer look. Take a closer look. Take a closer look. Some things you know like the back of your hand. Other things you just don't understand. Some things are new to you and me. So when it piques your curiosity, just take a closer look. Take a closer look. Take a closer look. Take a breath. Count to 3. Take a closer look. Open your eyes to the things you see. Take a closer look.
And that brings us to today's affirmations. Remember, affirmations are words you can say to yourself to remember how wonderful you are. I'll say each affirmation twice. Listen the first time, then say it with me the second time. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of who I am. I am good at so many things. I am good at so many things. I have many good ideas. I have many good ideas. I learn from my mistakes. I learn from my mistakes. I am creative and smart. I am creative and smart. I am full of wow. I am full of wow. Now let's smile and take a few slow, deep breaths as we wind down our time together. I can't wait to spend some time together again soon. Until then, I like you, I'm proud of you, and I'm glad we are friends. Have a happy and peaceful day. Like You is a production of Perpetual Motion. It is written and hosted by me, Noah Glenn. I also composed and performed the Like You theme music and other music that appeared in the episode. Additional music for this episode came from Night Park. Our podcast cover art was illustrated by Maya Sane, and our episode art is created by Lindsay Glenn. Our podcast is listener-supported, and you can be a part of supporting us by joining our Patreon group at patreon.com/likeyoupodcast. Other ways to support the show are by telling your friends, writing a review on Apple Podcasts, or checking out our online shop at likeyoupodcast.com. Our website also features show notes for every episode. We love hearing from listeners. You can send us voice memos, drawings, and pictures by having a grown-up send an email to hello@likeyoupodcast.com. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at LikeYouPod, and thanks for listening.